Hello again guys, Keith with Bulletproof RC. And I'm back with you to share an update on my Axial Yeti Rock Racer 1/10 scale. It's been a while since I've done a video on this vehicle, but I can tell you that it has been it's been used and abused in the background. It's one of my go-to RCs, one of my favorites. I've held onto this vehicle and I've bought and sold many other ones, but it's just quickly become one of my favorite RCs just because it's so versatile. It's great to take out with my friends when they have an Axial SEX10. It's great to take out when some of your friends have a short course truck or a trophy truck. It's an all-purpose vehicle, and the way this one has went together with all the aftermarket parts, it's up to the task no matter what the task is. Now, I'm going to pull the body, but before I do, this is the Proline Jeep Rubicon body. I quickly upgraded the Rubicon body on this vehicle simply because the stock body was pretty thin, and this is super thick and it has been very durable. It's tumbled down quite a few hills and off rocks and a number of different obstacles, and it has held up to the task. So get that out of the way. Highly recommend this body. It's an acquired taste. You know, if you like a Jeep, then it definitely turns your Yeti into a Jeep looking vehicle. And like I said, you can't go wrong with Proline Lexan. Now let's pull the body. All right, got the body off, and let's start with the rear of the vehicle. That is an SSD wide diamond rear axle. Put it through quite a bit of abuse. I don't know if that's showing up, but it's pretty banged up. It's been through a lot, and I can tell you that this is a great purchase. Held up great. I've taken this up jumped it off of 6-foot dirt hills. I went up one hill, and it actually started climbing a tree at the top of the hill, and then it fell backwards straight down the axle. I did bend a HD axle that goes in here as far as the shaft itself. So I replaced that, but you know, that was to be expected considering that this vehicle has the weight that it has. I've got a lot of aluminum in this vehicle, so I can imagine that if it had been a stock axle back here, the damage that would have taken place. So I can definitely highly recommend the SSD axle along with the GPM rear sway bar. That's been a great addition. This is the Vanquish Incision upper links. These are the steel ones. They are great. Like I said, the vehicle's taken a lot of abuse. Of course, there's no bending, no problems there. Got super shafty lower links. They've also taken quite a beating, and they just keep on ticking. One thing I was worried about was rusting. I've taken this thing through the elements, and there's no rusting either with the stainless steel, so that's good, even with the scratched up portions of it. Boom Racing front and rear links, great. Just no problems whatsoever with any of the Boom Racing products. Of course, Proline XTs on the rear. Highly recommend this to anyone who's using the Yeti Trophy Truck or the Yeti Rock Racer, because it just completes the vehicle. That's a GPM rear drive shaft. I've heard mixed reviews on GPM versus MIP. I've owned both, and I've had no problems with the GPM drive shaft whatsoever. So that's a great purchase as well. And I have put this thing through multiple packs, so I can tell you the long-term durability of all these parts is great. I've not had to replace anything. These are aluminum wheels, 2.2s. They're from D-Hawk Racing. You can find them on eBay, and I've not had any problems whatsoever out of these B-locks. They grip the tires quite well. No warping, even with the jumps and the heavy weight of this vehicle. That's all really I can say about that. The RC four-wheel drive rock crushers, wonderful, and they grip. They do great with crawling. They do great with high speed. I've got the closed cell foams inside there. Can't remember the manufacturer of the closed cell foams, but if you look at one of my previous videos, you'll see that. Boom Racing center transmission case, no problems there. That thing went together flawlessly and has held up great long term. Boom Racing motor mount has been wonderful. Guys, this motor, I highly recommend it. It's just, if you go on eBay, pull up 3100 kV motor, 3665, that's the size of the diameter and length. You'll see this motor come up pretty quickly. It's around 20 bucks. They ship out of California, I believe. And it's a Chinese motor, but so is Castle. Castle Motors have it on the very end bell, made in China. So say what you want. I've not had any problems whatsoever out of this motor. In fact, it has impressed me so much, I've bought several of them, and I'm running them in several of my vehicles now. It's a very smooth motor, paired with the Fuse Dynamite 130 amp ESC. There is little to no cogging. Most of my friends who run the trails with me they're thoroughly impressed with this setup because it very closely mimics a censored setup. It is that smooth on the low end and has plenty of power running the stock. I think it's the stock 16 tooth pinion that I have in here. I'm not going to pull this diff cover, not diff cover, but spur cover, but under there is the Robinson Racing slipper clutch system with the spur. Of course, there's no problems there, hard as nails. GPM upper plate went in great, works great. That is a GPM front shock tower. Installation, long-term durability of it is wonderful. GPM front gearbox or bulkhead, whatever you want to call it, has been wonderful keeping the gears aligned. And the plastic one under power, you can lose your gear mesh between your pinion and your ring gear in that side, that transmission there, and that'll cause premature wear. Well, adding a aluminum diff housing like that will prevent that and give you a lot longer lasting front drive system. That is I believe that's a Boom Racing front bulkhead there. RPM A-arms, they've been great. The sorry about the camera work there, guys. GPM knuckles and hubs in the front end, wonderful. That is these are Traxxas Links, I think. No, you know what? Those are the stock links, but I put Traxxas rod ends. Actually, the RPM Revo, those are Revo standard length rod ends, and these are the long shank rod ends from RPM. So just to keep everything tight and where it needs to be up there. And then get this thing spun around here. I've already talked about the ESC. That is the Savox 2270 servo, which is, my memory serves me, somewhere around 500 ounces of torque. It's plenty fast. I don't have the specs in front of me, but it's been great. Running off of the Hobby Wing BEC that puts out 7.4 volts. So it's a wonderful servo, perfect for this rig. It's just got plenty of torque and that steering and speed. And I think I've covered everything. That's the Boom Racing battery brace. I don't know, I'm not a fan of this. I wouldn't have purchased this over again because the way it's designed, when you put a battery in there, the battery can go up against these brackets. And I used a soft pack one time, and it actually put a dent in my soft pack. So it's just a thing, an item for bling. Not necessary. I'll just keep the stock battery hold down if you haven't upgraded already. And that is Boom Racing upper shock supports or shock mounts, whatever you want to call them. They've done great. I think that's a Integi rear chassis brace back there, or rear roll cage brace. I don't know what you call that thing, but Integi, we know they make their aluminum's a little bit softer than some of the other companies, but in a place like that, it's been great. It's kept a lot of the flex down in the rear end. So that was a reason for that. Oh, and if you have this vehicle, can't tell you enough, go out and get you a T-bone skid plate, because it has protected this vehicle. I don't know if the scratches are coming across on the video, but this thing has taken a beating. And if I remove this cover, it would be a fresh, brand new chassis underneath for you to look at. So just protect your investment. T-bone racing skid plates are just fantastic, and you know what? They get too beat up, you can replace them, but I doubt very seriously you'd ever break this thing or wear through it. So anyway, highly recommend that. All right, guys. Well, let's conclude by saying overall, I guess this is a review of the parts that went to make up my Yeti Rock Racer 1/10 scale. Using stock gears all the way down, rear end, front end, and center. No problems there, other than the Robinson Racing spur gear I mentioned. And everything has been fantastic. And that is one of the problems I had with the Yeti XL, was the stock front and rear differentials. Of course, they've updated that since I had one, so I think they've rectified the problem. But I love this vehicle, guys. Highly recommend it. A lot of upgrades I put in this vehicle. Not all of it was necessary, but I made it my own, and I recommend it. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. As always, like and subscribe to Shoe Fits, and have yourself a great day.